Welcome to the show and our ANZ Championship wrap in a week where the Southern Steel kept their finals hopes alive with a comprehensive win over the Battling Tactics. Elsewhere, the Swifts tipped over the Vixens in an upset, the Firebirds beat the Fever by a conveniently high margin, and the Mystics gave the Magic something to worry about for 3 of the 4 quarters.
When you get control of a match like that, is it just a matter of keeping a focus and not letting them get back into the game?
Absolutely, and I think we were guilty of some soft turnovers at times and enforcing some ball that we probably haven't been doing over the last few weeks.
Did appear a nice running game, fewer passes to get the ball into the circle, some good transitions?
There were some great transitions, particularly out of our defensive circle, and I thought Rachel particularly had a strong game bringing the ball through the court and put a couple of nice passes into Jay at the back.
What a surprise to a few playing Shannon instead of Courtney, but a revelation in the end.
Yeah, look, Shannon's been working really hard at wing attack and just felt it was a good opportunity for her to start the game. And the good thing is we've got 2 wing attacks who are on form and pushing each other, which can only be good for the team on court.
Chance to experiment a little bit as the game went on, a lot of subs?
Yeah, and I think, reward for those girls that have been doing the hard yards at training all season and haven't had those opportunities, and I think they all enjoyed that chance to get out there, and I think they all had some impact in the game in some small way towards the end of it.
And another very strong game from Philippa. It doesn't matter what the opposition is, she applies herself exactly the same.
She does. She's a real Trojan out there for us, and just that vital link between the attack and the defence, and I think, she led by example and she had some things she was working on, and I think she achieved all of them.
Not such a good result last night with the Magic win. You'd have liked them to get rolled, wouldn't you?
Yeah, look, it was sort of close for a little bit, but we are masters of our own destiny, and unfortunately some games are probably going to come back to haunt us towards the end of the season. Those ones at the start which we should have really nailed.
Still the door is ajar. A couple of good wins here and some results elsewhere. Things can be semi-final.
Absolutely, and we're aiming for 2 wins, and that's what we can control, is what we do, and I guess the stars will align and some other results could go away. So we've got to put ourselves forward, and particularly aiming for that first win in Australia this weekend.
Yes, that's a single motivation in itself. The Fever, very erratic, got absolutely hammered the other day.
Yeah, and I expect they'll be coming out not wanting to put that same performance out there, so we might feel a little bit of backlash, and everyone talks about the Fever growing an extra leg in Perth, and that's where we've got to face them. There's a couple of things for us, and it's a long haul, and also that physicality, which at times we don't deal that well with, and then the interpretations of the umpires are always a little bit of a leave you scratching your head sometimes, but that's something that we're aware of, and we've just got to, suck it up and move on.
It is a tremendous. It's the longest journey in the competition, isn't it? So how do you prepare for something like that?
Well, we've been harping on the girls this week about their recovery and making sure that they're preparing well. There's a few little things that we'll try on the way over around sleep patterns and making sure that we get into that routine pretty quickly once we get over there. But in saying that, I think sometimes it's just that mental, you've just got to do it. It's part of what we do. It's here all season, so we can't use that as an excuse.
And it's an experience factor for seasons ahead.
It is, yeah, but we're really looking to take it this weekend.
So much for the glamorous life of professional sports people. I think you have to get on the plane about 5 minutes after the game, don't you?
Yeah, well, it's pretty much finish the game and hopefully go through the processes and get those things all sorted, and then get to the airport and on the way home.
But in the frame of mind, the girls must be pretty cock-a-hoop at the moment with that recent win.
I think it's given them that confidence and to know that we can still win after a couple of losses, and we've just got to go back to the drawing board, and there's still some areas of concern from last weekend around particularly our turnover ball and the ability to slow the opposition down at times, because I did think the tactics at times looked pretty sharp on attack too.
Well, it was great to get back to your winning ways at the weekend.
Certainly was. It was great to get that winning feeling back after having 2 losses in a row, so girls were pretty chuffed after the game.
And at this level, you don't often get to control a match throughout, but you did.
Yeah, we did. I think, this competition's so tough, you can't go into any game knowing that you're going to win it. So for us to play consistent throughout the whole 60 minutes was a bonus for us.
Game seemed to flow for me, better than some.
Yeah, better than some. Still a little disappointing at times. I think the last 5 minutes of each quarter we just lost their ways a little bit. So certainly need to look at that with training this week. But all in all, win's a win, and 17 goals. We played some good netball in that.
Is it hard to concentrate on court when you look at the scoreboard and you've got a big buffer?
Yeah, well, I'm a player that always looks at the board. Some of the girls don't at all, but I always like to know what we're up by and all that, and how much we win the quarters by. So that's how I operate. And I think when you're up by that much, you just want to keep building the score. And obviously we got pretty close to 80, so that was a goal in my brain that I wanted to hit. So a little disappointing we missed that 1 by 1.
Well, that goal differential formula, not that anyone can work it out, but it could be crucial in the end, so you've got to keep scoring.
Absolutely. I mean, we made semis a few years back on Goldiff, heading to the last round, so it's so vital playing, week in, week out and trying to get that win first of all, and then trying to build on the goal differential.
Well, let's talk about a couple of games that have had an influence on the competition. First of all, the fever, just awful.
Yeah, they weren't too flash. Probably the worst thing about that is they won't play like that again, and they'll be getting thrashed this week at training, so they're going to come out firing come Monday night.
Do you have any reason why they are so fluctuating? They've had huge losses, yet some spectacular wins.
Yeah, interesting you say that. Watching them, they're a team that are on or off clearly, and I think you can tell that right from the start of the game how they're going to play. So for us, hoping they don't start too well on Monday, but I think for them, some young players there. But in saying that, they've been around a few years now, so they, as I heard Norma say, they need to have a good look at themselves.
Yeah, but she said that not quite like that though.
No, she wouldn't have.
Now you've done the Perth trip before, haven't you? So you'll know what it takes to, to factor in the travel.
Yeah, I guess it's challenging. I mean, it's about a 4-day trip for us, but to get over there, it's a day travelling, and you've just got to suck it up and get on with it. I don't think there'll be any excuses from us regarding the travel. We've got to do all the right recoveries this week, even do a wee bit more stretching, more pull recoveries, and just make sure when we get over there, we're being sensible when we've got time off, keeping off our legs and making sure we fire come Monday.
The block between you and semi-final actions, the Magic obviously, they seem the best placed, but Mystics gave them a fright.
Yeah, we're all obviously watching last night hoping the Mystics would win, but unfortunately they didn't. But credit to Magic, they're a great side and they'll be a real threat come that top 4. But, hoping we can get in there. But I think the big thing for us is, losing that Vixens Magic and having to depend on other results, which, is not ideal and it's not the place we wanted to be in.
And just bad timing, but the Vixens are starting to get the wobbles at the moment. Yeah,
they still are, but they've got a couple of wins up on us, so I think the best we can do is draw with them. So, but I think they'll come back. They're a great side, and they beat us over there by 6, which wasn't a big score considering playing over there, and they've had some big wins at home. So I think they'll come right, the Vixens.
Can they beat them? I think they've got to play the Magic, don't they, in New Zealand? So can they roll them?
I think they probably could, they're coming off a loss, so I think you always look at yourself harder after a loss, and I know the Vixens will be doing that. Magic certainly won't take them lightly either, so it's just going to be an all-in-all battle, that one.
I have to say, I think every fan I've talked to want the Pulse Steel game in the last round to be the decider. Wouldn't that be fantastic for the competition?
Yeah, there's been lots of hype around that game already, and people were saying about a month ago that could defend the top 4 spot, but if results don't go away, then unfortunately we'll probably just be playing for 5th place, but she'll be a good battle, that one.
So no change at the top, with the Thunderbirds looking assured to win the round robin, the Firebirds and Vixens also certain of playoff action. The Magic need just one more win to breathe easier, though a loss and big victories to either the Steel or Pulse could see the reigning champs ousted, but that looks unlikely given the Magic again face the Mystics in the last round.